Another project I like to do early in the year is a needlebook. So it has an applique on the front and a couple pages, and it's a nice storage for the year for your needles or your pins. So I have cutters that cut 3.5, and then I switch over to the cutter that's 6.5, and I cut a bunch of these. And then I let the kids choose whichever two they want. And then whatever they choose for the inside needs to be trimmed approximately 1/2 inch in both directions. Usually I use a ruler. So I let the kids trim it. And then we find the center. And that's where we stitch for the binding on the book. I like to use the thicker thread for this. It just shows up better and makes more detail. It's interesting. And this is the binding. I like to tuck my knots in between. I know that it'll show on the other pages, but I just like to have it show up more. So just a running stitch all the way across, or a back stitch. It's not super important that it's tiny stitches, but it's good to start practicing. I like felt because it doesn't fray. When we get to the side here, we have to go back. If it's a back stitch, I ask them to do the opposite of whatever the last stitch was to fill in the spaces on the binding. And come back up and hide the knot a little bit under here. I have more colors of felt. This is kind of the leftovers from last year. Okay, so then this is the front, and I have options like hearts. I have flowers. You can use leaves, or circles. I have circles sometimes, lots of different circles. I don't mind if someone makes something else and cuts my pieces. I've had frogs and turtles and owls. They've done their initials. I like all the extra creativity. So I have a flower and a heart. I'm going to do some stars. So you can do a running stitch, or you can do an overcast stitch. You can be as complicated or as simple as you want. I think I'm going to do a running stitch because these are so small. Oops, I got a knot back here. Sometimes I need a little bit of help with this over here to keep it out of the way. Safety pins work too. As you can see, it looks good with just any kind of stitching. Since this is so small, I'm going to not worry about putting the knot underneath and just getting it off the front. And I'll do the same thing here. I'll just keep it, oh, I can start here and put it underneath. we go. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. You can put them in the comments. If you'd like to see more projects, please subscribe, and thank you for stopping by.